What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Happy Monday. How was everybody's weekend? I hope it was good. What did you do this weekend, Liv?
Oh my gosh, it was busy. I drove Hayden to the Christmas parade in town, then picked her up and then drove her to another town to do some Christmas thing for her play. And then we went to her play yesterday. And grocery shopping and errands, and it was just busy. I actually wanted to clean for the first time in how long, and I didn't have time.
Play was fun.
Go figure. Play was amazing.
Yeah, so they did a radio rendition of It's a Wonderful Life. And then we came home and watched some of It's a Wonderful Life. We'll probably watch a little bit more tonight if Ethan's feeling okay.
Yeah.
And finish it. But, you know, it was great. It was just well done. We love living where we live. The schools are amazing, and they do an amazing, amazing job. So, well, I've been told that we can't talk about drones. Everybody wants to know what's going on with drones, and then it's like, I don't want to talk about drones anymore. Well, fine, we won't talk about drones, but we will be talking about drones for 5 minutes or so, maybe 10, because it is me. But I don't want to hear any complaints. If I hear one complaint, I'm going to punch Ethan in the mouth. That's not true.
Did you post on our message board?
Oh, shit. Good call.
You're welcome, sir.
Good call. I will put that up while we are right back in 10 seconds. I think might be able to get it done faster. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. It's coming on right now, everybody. Liv, if you wouldn't mind sharing the Facebook channel with everybody, I'd greatly appreciate it, even though Facebook has been throttling the shite out of me today.
I do throughout the show.
Thank you.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
Step into a wimp can.
Howdy, y'all. This is Damani Felder. These are perilous times in American history, and now more than ever, we need individuals.
Damani Felder, Big D, will be in the house on Wednesday. D reached out. He's like, hey, man, I want to be on the Don't Unfriend Me show. I'm like, dude, you never have to ask. Just show up. And here he will be. On Wednesday, Damani Felder will be on live.
Who are willing to wage war on the ideological battlefield with like-minded individuals.
What's really cool is, like, whenever I do my racist jokes, I can be like, dude, it's fine. I have a black friend. And it's like, I'm covered. It's amazing. I've got a card. It's really special.
I can think of no better place to start than my friends at the Don't Unfriend Me show. So thank you for being here and enjoy the show.
Oh,
Oh,
Join Webcam.
Adjusting transmitter output.
I control it now.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Damani Felder on Wednesday will be here. If you do not know, we are not just a fantastical, amazing, stupendous website slash podcast slash news show. We also have written news. So if you want to, you can go over to, oh, by the way, Liv, I don't need the other computer to do it anymore. Apple made an update, so I can do this without the other Mac. So we have a new article up. It's about Democrats skip Trump's inauguration. America skipped their agenda. If you haven't read it, it's really good. You should go read it. And all you do is go ahead and clicky, and you can read that on your phone. You can read that on your computer. You can read that when in Rome. Whatever you want to do, go read it, and it's a good thing. Now, once you do that, I want to go ahead and walk you through how to do a couple things. The DUM Show. I didn't learn how to spell. TheDUMShow.com/donate. And if you do that, you can actually donate to the show. And listen, some places like donate. What do you need donations for? Are you like replacing a kidney? No, but you fund the show. And most people like it. And when they watch it, they tend to stay. So if you do me a favor, please go over to PayPal. You can actually go ahead and mail it in as well, or Venmo. Real simple. Just click on the link provided here, and you can help donate to the show. It's real simple. And once you're there, you can pick up a T-shirt, some coffee, or something like that. We are shipping for Christmas. We are, how many days, Liv?
9.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Chances of getting something by Christmas, like now is like probably your last chance. And if you do anything super special, like something like an embroidered jacket or embroidery, there's no way. Coffee, there's no way. But if you get a T-shirt, good chance you'll get it. A hoodie, good chance you'll get it. But that's about it. Anyway, you can go over there and you can donate, and that helps keep the show. I'm going to put up the goals because
I need to do that, don't I?
Yep, you do. Goals are up. We've already got a killer showing on Facebook. We already have a ton of people on. So, Liv,
yes,
you need to reset the goal.
Resetting and done. Goal
is reset. We are here at 250. Remember, it's the slowest 3 months in history, and Facebook has completely, they have, like, all money we were making was completely stripped again. So I don't know what's going on. We don't care. We've got you. There's the goal. We don't want to talk about it for the rest of the night. Melanie says, I have received cards with your cards. Am I allowed to copy and put them at the golf store in my area? Others put their cards. Yeah, just tell me and I'll send you cards. If you want to put my business cards up, we love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the one thing that we get is we get a lot of things right. And we've been doing this drone thing. And everyone's all nervous about the drones. And I've covered it now for three very long nights. And people on Rumble almost pulled a Kane mutiny, I guess, and didn't want us to cover it. Folks, unfortunately, we covered Ukraine for like a month. And we're not going to try to cover the drone thing tonight as much as we have. But can I just recap quickly what we saw, Liv?
Yes.
Okay. So
you need to, sorry to interrupt, you need to put up when people donate the flash that comes up.
Oh, the likes. There it is.
Yes.
It's there.
And thank you, Bobby.
Bobby, I'm sorry we did it again, hon. My bad.
Thank you.
Sorry. I always hit that and it's always up. I got to remember.
When you said you were talking about the drones for like, what did you say, 4 nights? All I could think about was 8 crazy nights from Adam Sandler's song.
Right.
I don't know why that just popped in my head.
It's humor is good. This was actually posted on Facebook. It was kind of popular and unpopular. People don't like to be made fun of, but it says the New Jersey Guide to Aircraft Identification. And it basically says for a 747 drone, says for a 737 drone, for a DC-7 drone, for a B-1 or a Concorde drone. And we can
Iranian mothership.
Iranian
That's great.
mothership is the way. So a little bit of humor. I want to let you in on a little secret. We called it, and we're going to be right. And we're really getting good at this. And it's not because we have some clairvoyant way about it. There's things that we just don't touch because we don't know enough about it. But when it comes to military and geopolitical situations, Leroy and I are pretty much bang on every time. There's not much we've missed. In fact, I don't think there's anything we've really missed, because even in Ukraine, when we were at the 3-month mark, we said we don't see him invading. But once we got some new troop movements, we're like, yes, and here's what's going to happen. Leroy was like, Ukraine's going to get washed, and I'm like, Ukraine's going to hold out indefinitely as long as we proxy. But most of the time, we're right. And he was obviously right on the potash, food famine in Africa. And we can go on and on and on with the things that we've talked about that we've been right about. Okay, enough tooting our horn. But the drone thing is, I want to, let's recap what we've seen. There are right now, about 1,000 videos in circulation all over the United States. In fact, they're now in England and Florida of seeing drones. And people are like, this has to be real. I wrote a very strong article on this. And it explains the phenomena that's taking place. And the only way I can give you examples from Pearl Harbor. When people saw ships in the water, they thought were Japanese vessels, and they weren't. In fact, they were everything but. They could have been a fishing trolley, or they could have been a humpback whale, or they could have just been a mirage. Whatever it was, people reported Japanese subs and Japanese destroyers, and there weren't any. When we take a look at 9/11, every single Muslim on a plane was circumspect and was looked at as a terrorist. When we don't have answers to things, we start looking for them and replacing them. And I explained this phenomenon, explained the situation to you so you guys could understand. And it is fairly common to do. Now, people are like, well, don't tell me what I saw. I know what I saw. No, that's the problem. You don't know what you saw because you're not an expert at this. And when you see something flying in the sky and someone says that looks like a drone, and then you can replicate that, you're assuming that you're seeing the same thing. But more often than not, the first person was not seeing a drone. They were seeing a helo, or they were seeing an altituded aircraft, and then they get confused because they don't know what they're looking at. They haven't had the training to do aircraft identification like Leroy and I have. We've went through schools for this. So Olivia will tell you, it doesn't matter if something's at 30,000 feet. It doesn't matter if something's at 3,000 feet. It doesn't matter if something's at 300 feet. I don't even need to be outside to tell you what it is.
We play a game in our house. When we hear anything flying ahead above our house, we stop what we're doing and we ask Matthew, what is that?
And how many of them are? Is it one chopper, two choppers, three choppers, the same chopper?
Yep. How many there are, how high they're flying, what they are. I mean, what they're probably doing.
Ethan will walk outside and go and look and be like, oh my God, there's 3 choppers up there, but I can't tell the difference of what they are. But he knew there were 3, so I trust him. It just comes down to, not only is this a recreation type thing for Leroy and I, because we grew up loving planes. As we demonstrated the other night, we were taught by the people who you say are putting those in the sky on how to identify them by sound, by sight, and a few other tricks of the trade. So here's what we've established. The FAA has a no-fly zone in several spots in New Jersey, next to Piccadilly, next to Bedminster, airports, Newark, all over the place. And flight traffic is being redirected. This is civilian and military aircraft who don't have authorization. Now, civilian transport is one. Civil Air Patrol can break that, or if they have orders or declaration or overall what essentially would be a passcode to get in, is their IFF on their plane will transmit to gain access into these restricted zones. And if they don't have that, they're going to get squawked. If they don't respond to the squawk, they're going to get an escort. They don't get an escort, they're going to get shot down. So a lot of traffic is being diverted into areas, especially rural areas, where people have never seen planes fly over them before. Because whether you know this or not, unless it's a civilian aircraft, planes stick to a route, usually the most economic. They follow the winds, they follow overall altitude, they follow the channels, they follow the wind streams. All of these things are predicated upon saving fuel and having the most efficient flight from point A to point B. Private aircraft don't necessarily do that because they can only fly at certain altitudes unless it is a Learjet, Streamliner, or something like that. But your everyday prop Cessna or Piper Cub is going to follow a fairly regimented flight plan, but they have to log this flight plan. And when they log it with the tower or the local airport that they're going to taxi from and to, they have to have a flight plan. And then that is inputted and they push it up against any FAA dead zones. And then the pilot's going to adjust their plan accordingly. Most pilots don't have to. But there are current restrictions in all sorts of areas, and most of them are around military bases. Now, why did this happen? Yes, Earl, you're correct. And I've been saying this for 2 weeks. The government knows exactly what's happening. And how do you know the government knows that it's happening? Liv, how do we know the government knows it's happening?
Because they're doing it.
Because they're not saying anything. They're not telling you. Now, a lot of people have been worried about drones, and I'm going to tell you this. We have broken down a shite ton of videos. We have found Helos. We have found Chinooks. We found Blackhawks. We found civilians. We found Hueys. We have seen UX-40 drones that were actually military flying, and they fly all the time on patrol. We have seen... That's two shows in a row. Whatever that is, can we
That was medicine.
Yeah, 2 shows in a row. Can we get rid of it and like never have it here again? Like throw it away.
I can't.
Well, how about you put it someplace where you're not going to drop it again? Because this is like your phone. Every night at 9:30, you drop your phone. Like I can set my clock to it. This is going to become a staple of the show. All right. So anyway, point being is that we know that there's no fly restrictions. We know that a lot of people are just reposting the same old civilian and military aircraft that fly above 5,200, 4,000 to 5,200 are flying every second up in the air right now that we speak. And they are flying in different areas and people are freaking out. Now, I have seen a few drones. Most of those are civilian drones and recreational drones. I have found some things that I can't identify. I've also shown you anomalies with the glowing orbs and explained to you what refraction is and how those things, an atmospheric disturbance, changes the way an optical lens and a digital lens work. We've covered all this stuff. And anyone who watches the show is now done with hearing about drones because they're like, Matt's right, I believe him, that's it. But there are some people who don't, and I want to go ahead and update one thing. A lot of people are saying, well, it's not air drones we have to worry about. We have to worry about water drones. Okay.
Water drones?
Yes, there are water drones, submersibles that actually can traverse underwater like a submarine, very, very small, that have the ability to, according to some people, gain flight once they are submerged. Okay. Can I explain something to you? That tech...
Gain flight once they're submerged?
They're submerged, they rise to the top, and then their propellers start to spin underneath the water. They use it for upward propulsion to push out of the water and then engage and fly.
Got it.
They do exist. Folks, you don't understand this, and let me explain it to you. The FAA is pretty good at covering our airspace. In fact, we're pretty much shit hot at it. And there's not a plane that can take off in anywhere in the world that we don't know about it. Okay? Would you consider that to be secure? And our bounce radar is, we have 500-mile bounce radar off of all of our coasts. Like, we can see the middle of the Atlantic from any flight that comes in, and we are going to have early warning on 500 miles and out. We're going to have secondary warnings, 750, 1,000 miles out. We're very, very strong in our air defense, okay? After 9/11, it's what we really focused on, and most people did. The second thing people focused on was naval breaches in the water. But that's something that we've focused on since 1950. We lapsed, obviously, in Pearl Harbor. But since then, our naval superiority has been a focus because of the Cold War and boomers coming out of the Polyarny Inlet or Severomorsk, Petropavlovsk, Vladivostok in Russia, and launching a nuke up our ass. I will tell you right now, I could just do it. I'm not going to do it. I can name 25 systems that are currently active that are not human, that are overseeing the waters of the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Gulf, protecting the United States. And these systems are state of the art. If you don't believe me, over 250 miles away, do you remember that submersible that went underwater to see the Titanic live?
Yeah, I think so.
And it imploded?
Yeah. Yeah.
We heard it in Washington, D.C.
Really?
Yes. We heard it from Norfolk, Virginia. We heard it from listening stations in Puget Sound, not Puget Sound, Greenland, Iceland base, where the P-3 Orions are, and I can't remember the name of it for some reason. It doesn't matter. The point is, Iceland, is that we heard this on our acoustics. The United States has an impenetrable net around our waters. And when I say impenetrable, they check for seismic activity, they check for water displacement, they check for magma displacement, they check for electromagnetic and nuclear displacement, they check for overall sounds, and through several different systems that identify the different sounds. The advancement in our waters is so good. I can't even begin to explain it to you where you would understand. I could read that to you, but I'm going to do an article tomorrow. Thank you, Joanne. I'm going to do an article tomorrow that will explain it and why our waters are protected. So here's what I want everyone to do. Everyone just needs to relax. I promise you this, the government is testing unidentified UAVs right now. Thank you very much, Amy.
Yes.
They're testing them, they're flying them, and there are multiple companies involved who are all competing to create the next generation drone. They are being actively tested, and that has been going on forever. Whether it was the old Reapers or whether it was reconnaissance gliders that we have been testing this equipment for a long, long time. And you have gone unawares, but you remember the missile tests over the United States. You remember when it would break sonic boom and we had no idea what was going on. Then they put up the X-1 Bell and nobody had any idea. We know what it was like when people saw the F-35 and F-22 15 years ago doing test flights under their Y version. This happens. And if you just stop and think back, the government didn't tell you shit. And the reason why the government doesn't tell you shit is because it has no obligation to tell you, even if you're freaked out. But that's not why you're freaked out. Why you're freaked out is there were multiple articles that were put out over Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty, CIA, FBI, Quantico, Virginia, where there were drones from foreign adversaries of the United States where people were getting concerned because they were probing and exploring these bases. Now, we didn't know if it was a foreign entity, Chinese nationals, Arabs. We didn't know what it was. But those type of things strike fear into people. And then when people started looking up and not being, maybe they didn't recognize there was an X-40 out there. Maybe there was a UAV that was from the government. But then everything became that. And then now you're seeing it like wildfire. All of a sudden, everyone's seeing these drones. And they're not drones. I have seen all the video. We've broken down the video. I even don't even put up the video and had Leroy listen to it, and we came to the same conclusions. Everyone needs to take a deep breath. I do not believe that there are any foreign drones in the United States that aren't civilian made, that are being flied by civilian or commercial operators or foreign entities. I'm sure there are, but these aren't lethal drones. These are used for collection. They're used for probing. They're used for reconnaissance. And that stuff is definitely flying in the U.S. because we know we have Chinese nationals in our country. We know we have cartel in our country. We know there's probably cartel who are using drug drops with drones. All of these things are true, but none of this started happening 2 weeks ago. So let's take a second, let's take a breath, let's move on, and let's stop talking about the drones. And that's why we talked about it tonight, is because I just wanted to put a bottle on it. Liv, do we have any questions or comments or concerns?
No, somebody said, I guess, on Benny's show that he's spreading they're looking for nuclear.
Of course. I wonder who called that, Liv?
That would be you.
When did I do that?
Last week, Wednesday? Wednesday or Monday?
I told you the next phase of this would be that they're looking for nuclear, because that's what the story's changed 100 times. First, it was China. Then it was an Iran mothership. Then it was the government. Now it's not the government. Now it's UFOs. Now it's not UFOs. It's spherical orbs. Folks, aliens and foreign governments do not put FAA running lights that are authorized and in compliance with FAA regulations. Okay? End of story. It's the end of the story. It's the end of the conversation. Foreign governments rely on stealth, and UFOs aren't going to say, let's put on some lights so we are compliant in New Jersey. No, that's not going to happen. Okay? Can we move on? Great. Holy shit. Question. Wright Pratt Air Base shut airspace. Abundance of caution. They're shutting airspace for the reason that I told you, those FAA regulations. It's caution, but they're also running operations, and they don't want some civilian jackass to go ahead and shoot at one of our planes or throw a drone up to go find out what's going on. The military bases, the government's telling you that you're overreacting. The government is telling you that you guys are making a big, not you, but you understand what I'm saying. By putting these FAA blocks, they don't want you sending civilian drones over their bases. Why? Well, because one of those drones can bring down a chopper. One of those drones can bring down a civilian or military flight. One of those drones can drop on people drilling on base. They don't want you flying over there, and you're not supposed to. So guess what? They're putting FAA no-fly zones in these areas like I told you they were. I told you that on Friday. I told you that on Thursday. I told you why they're doing that and why they're carefully wording things, because they don't want to tell you that you're all crazy.
It's Santa. He's making practice runs.
So yeah, haha. I mean, I know all this, but it's very serious because people are talking about shooting these down. If you shoot these, you're going to go to jail. If you start firing at these things, you're going to prison. Because one of two things are going to happen. One is that you're not going to hit them, and then you're going to have the authorities knock your door and you're going to jail. Or you are going to hit them and you're going to kill people, either military or civilian. This isn't Red fucking Dawn. I'll tell you when it's Red Dawn. This ain't it. Okay. Everyone good? All right. Good conversation. We're moving on from drones. And Rumble, I don't want to hear it. I got a job to do. I know how to answer this. Benny and Dan Bongino are... You want to know why they're... Because it's Christmas. They're not making as much money. And that's what people do. So please help us. We're telling the truth. Dan Bongino and Benny Johnson make millions. We don't. And we're doing what we always do. The unpopular thing. Yeah, I could go up here and say, yeah, because of my military experience, let me tell you what they are. They are XRZ F-40s. They are nuclear drones. We found it in Area 51. And we're playing war games with Russia right now. And we're going to attack China. I mean, I could just make up a bunch of shit, but why would you watch me after that? Why? I'm too small to do that. If I do that, then I lose everybody. I can't afford to lose one viewer. So I'm not disrespecting Bongino. I'm not disrespecting Benny. They have entertainment value that they have to have. Now they're very, very good. But I'll tell you this, Dan Bongino and Benny Johnson don't know fuck all about drones. They don't know fuck all about military aviation. I do. And if Benny Johnson and Dan Bongino want to go ahead and have a debate about this, bring it the fuck on. I will spank you every day and twice on Sunday. Because I'm not going to enter your orbit and tell you about the Secret Service, Dan. And Benny, I'm not going to go in here and tell you about hair product. Okay? Good conversation. No, MAGA supporters they do like the truth, but MAGA supporters are sick of being fucked over, and they have been lied to. They're suspicious, and they have a right to be suspicious. They absolutely do. And this government has not been straight up with them. And they've went after Trump. They've went after us. And I get it. I mean, I worked for the government, but I'm untrustworthy of the government in many ways, too. You got to remember, they called us domestic terrorists because we were challenging the school board. It's not that MAGA needs some sort of lie. What they need is the government to be honest and truthful. And I'm sorry, but there is no requirement for the United States military to be honest with you. It puts people in danger. It puts our technology in danger. And I'm sorry, I trust our military. It's our government that I have a struggle with. Okay? So I'm not going to sit here and label MAGA. These people are good people. They're wholesome people. They're people who have belief. They're scared. They have a right to be scared. And I'm telling them, stop, relax. If there's something that I see that makes us pull the oh shit switch, I'll let you know. Okay? All right, good. Now let's move on, because I don't want to lose people over this shit. Let's talk about something else. Ooh.
What was that?
It's a spicy meatball.
Spicy meatball.
Here it is. Bill. So you sounded like. All right, watch. All right, is that nuclear?
No.
Why? How do you know?
I don't think it's big enough, and it doesn't have that mushroom cloud thing that kind of goes over that I've seen in the videos and pictures I've seen of the tests. But
well, what do you call that?
I don't know then. I don't think it's nuclear.
Well, here, doesn't this look like a mushroom? I mean, just think about the last time. Let's think about the last time we made love. Does that look like a mushroom? So
it's a little bit smaller, but
is that easy? Okay. Easy.
No, I said that's a little bit.
Oh, that is. Oh God, if that you wouldn't walk for a year. All right. So, is it nuclear? Yes or no?
No, I don't think it is.
No. Let me tell you how you know. Okay, just close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to say boom, and then you're going to hear the echo. Close your eyes. Ready?
Okay.
Okay. So boom has already happened. Once you start hearing the wind rustling, count how far it is away. Ready?
Okay.
Go.
6 is where I got.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 1 mile. So that's about 1.25 miles away. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
No, you can't, because it depends on the speed. Shock waves work a little bit differently. Okay? The speed of sound, the sound is getting there before the shock wave.
Yeah.
Okay? So this means that it is a slower explosion. It is more of probably a nitrate-based explosion. It's more, but it's going to rip and be a shit ton more aggressive. The difference, right, 6, that's correct. The difference between, there's been variance wavelengths in the sound patterns of explosions, right?
Yes.
So certain explosive devices, depending upon what you're using, whether it be C4 or Semtex or something to that effect, will move in a very fast, and it literally blows through whatever is stopping it. Okay, but TNT and Anfro and things like that, and nitrates, they move slower. It's a bigger wave, but it rips and tears and essentially shakes things apart. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So this explosion, thank you so much, Kevin. This explosion works a little bit different. 1001 isn't a mile. Whoever told you that was wrong. Google it if you want to. So when
that's what we were told in elementary school, and we count thunder. I remember it was 1 Mississippi, and every time you counted, it was a mile. That's what I was told growing up. So
yeah, that's what you were told.
Yeah.
When you count Mississippi, how far is a mile? I can't find it. But trust me when I say this, it's not. You can say 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. Every time you say that, it's not a mile. If you do the math, that's incorrect. It's not. Okay, now I'm going to look it up because everyone's arguing with me. That's fine. Now I'm going to look it up. How many Mississippi do you have to count for a mile? It takes 5 Mississippi to count to 1 mile. A mile is 5,280 feet, while sound travels at 1,125 feet per second. It's simple math, folks. Apologize, everyone, now. You too. Sexy pants.
I didn't say it was true.
You
I just
sounded
said,
like you doubted me.
no, that's
Google doesn't know everything? Yes, but you know what? Math does, Sue.
no. I didn't say I doubted you. I just was saying that's what I was taught when I was growing up.
No, it's the method of establishing the speed of sound, not the shock wave. The speed of sound is 1,125 miles an hour. Okay? So we're talking about sound. The speed of sound is exactly 1,125 miles an hour. So you're looking at a little less than 5 Mississippi to give yourself, and a Mississippi is a second, a full second. When you go 1, 2, 3, that's not a full second. 1 Mississippi's 1, 2 Mississippi's 2. You count to 5 Mississippi, you're 1 mile away from the thunder. If you count 5 Mississippi and 6 Mississippi, you're 1.10 miles or 1.20 miles away from that explosion. Do you understand? Okay, great. This is why the shows take so long, because I have to keep doing this shit. Everybody learns something every day. It's okay.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with learning. I'm just not going to say something unless it's true. Okay? I don't do that. I don't do that to y'all. I don't bullshit you. I don't lie to you. I wouldn't. I'm a smart fucking guy, okay? Just deal with it. Now watch, Liv.
I'm a-watching.
Hey, thanks for that donation, Charity. All right, take a look at the explosion. That's the sound wave.
My God, that was loud.
So that's your sound, right? And then you're going to have shock wave too, but it might be far enough away. This is a very, very intense explosion, but projected upwards, which leads you to believe that it has a very large sound wave pattern, but it's somewhat condensed. So it's not moving as fast as a larger type explosion that you would see from like a GBU. This is what is known as a sympathetic explosion. Do you know what that is?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
So a sympathetic, when you hear it, you're like, what? It has feelings and emotions?
Exactly.
It's a very kind explosion. Sympathetic explosion is
It identifies as a female.
That's correct. It is a female. He expects you to call it her. So a sympathetic explosion is if I go ahead and I set off a small bomb, and the circumference would take out this room. So say a grenade. If we threw a grenade in this room, you and I would die. Okay?
Yeah.
We're dead.
Yeah.
The amount of G's we're going to hit is we're going to take like 62 G's. We're toast. Our brains are going to be mush. Ethan will survive. Ethan's ears are going to ring, but he would survive. We would die because it's an enclosed space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But if we go ahead and let's say we have a contained incendiary device which doesn't have a release valve, which is designed to release its pressure, that is contained, say, propane gas, and that grenade hits it, what's going to happen to the house? Propane tank, honey.
Oh, if the propane tank, it's not going to blow up the whole house.
Yes,
but
it is.
It will?
Yeah, whole house is gone.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Propane.
I just thought it would like put a hole in the kitchen.
No. Whole house.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a water softener go? The old ones?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, those things would literally shoot straight up like a rocket, and they would go first, second, third floor, and also be up about 2,000 feet in the air. Now that didn't take out the whole house, but you're talking about a contained explosion of a gas, which is contents under pressure. If you release that pressure simultaneously, can you imagine the devastation that you would have simultaneously in all directions? Propane tank going up. What about your gas line in your house?
Oh, that's going to explode the whole house.
Well, gas is only going into one area, is the kitchen. So why wouldn't a propane tank? See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So the volume of gas that you have in your gas lines going into your kitchen are very similar to what would be in probably a 25-pound propane tank. It's gonna blow your whole fucking house up. Now, if it's been leaking, it's really gonna blow your house up because it would be leaking and filling up the entire house. It's a secondary explosion. That's what they call a sympathetic explosion. I don't know why to tell you that, but that's just what it is.
Okay.
So it's basically saying that you're taking one energy from one thing that's much smaller and passing it on to another. And that energy, that potential energy, becomes cataclysmic based upon its force. And the accelerant, propellant, or explosive that is there is also going to go, and you get an explosion like this. Now, I want you to imagine putting 20,000 propane tanks into an area, and what would happen?
1,000 tanks.
20,000 propane tanks in an area, what would happen?
It's gonna blow up pretty much this neighborhood.
It's going to look like that. It's not going to blow up the neighborhood, surprisingly enough.
It would blow up our cul-de-sac?
No, because the amount of energy that it has is going to dissipate in a certain way. Now, if it is a gas, usually what happens is it burns extremely hot, extremely fast, and then creates somewhat of a vacuum and then pushes up and goes up in the air, and you see a mushroom. Anybody who's watched TV or watches a gas explosion or a car explosion sees that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But a bomb works different. A bomb is a chemical reaction that pushes out from its epicenter out all directions unless it's contained, like a claymore mine, which will have a back shield, and then it will point a certain area. So therefore the explosion goes forward or towards the troops, and that's why it says this is the bad end, point towards enemy, right?
Yeah.
But this is different. Now, I can tell you this is an ammo depot. And in that ammo depot, there are surface-to-air missiles, there's munitions, there is gunpowder, there are fuel cells, there are resupply. This is essentially a giant powder keg. And it has some very, very serious munitions. And have you ever seen on the floor a ton of mousetraps?
In movies, I haven't seen it in person.
Okay, and you throw a ping pong ball at one trap. What happens to the next trap?
It goes off because it bounces.
Wait. Is it one trap that goes off?
They all kind of go off.
Okay, so it's not the ping pong ball that does it. What is it?
It's the trap itself because it bounces.
Nope, it's the energy of the trap. Usually the trap just flips over or goes straight up and comes down, and it may hit a trap, but what happens is it's kinetic energy, and it's exponential. So 1 will become 2, 2 will become 4, 4 will become 8, 8 becomes 16, 16 becomes 32, 32 becomes 64, 64 becomes 128. And you see this expansion. The same thing happens with sympathetic explosions, except it's not exponential, it's simultaneous. Because the movement of the explosion is so fucking fast that everything just goes poof at once. That is what we saw here. That is why it's so strong, and that is why it's a fire fuck ball from hell. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a hyperbaric bomb. No, it's not. A lot of people are like, oh my God, it's a Mark 84 GBU 2,000 pounder. No, it's not. Okay. Oh my God, it's a Mark 28. It's a laser guided bunker buster. No, it's not. You don't know what it is. Honestly, that could be a drone that's like a hand grenade. Have a drone fly in and hit one of the fuel cells or fuel tanks or any of the explosive devices that I said, which would create a cataclysmic reaction. More than likely, this was a GBU of some sort. Be a 2,000-pound bomb, 500-pound bomb, 1,000-pound, 1,500-pound. It could be a bunker buster. You really don't need a bunker buster for a munitions depot because most of those things are on the surface level because that's a refueling station. It is a resupply area, and it doesn't behoove you to have something at 300 or 150 feet under the ground. This was hit more than likely by a GBU, and what you're seeing is a cataclysmic reaction, and it's a big one. Very similar to the one that took place in Lebanon, which was the fireworks plant that had a chemical reaction. I'm going to show it to you, where all the firework, black powder and nitrates went up at the same time. Watch this first, and then we'll go and I'll look that up, and you can watch that.
Okay.
Now, let me show you something. Do you see all those little
shooting things?
Little shooting stars?
Yeah.
Okay. So those are pieces of whatever was inside of there.
Oh.
And that could be pallets. That could be a vehicle. That could be a roof. It could be a piece of phosphorus. It could be a lot of things. It could be a flying propane tank, but doesn't matter. This was a 3.0 on the Richter scale. They measured it with Richter. Liv, you listening to me?
Yeah.
So essentially, it's like an earthquake bomb. Now, a lot of people are saying this was an earthquake bomb. This is not an earthquake bomb from World War II. The English put those out. very similar to Moab's, very similar to other hypothermic bombs. It's not a hypothermic bomb. This is just one very well struck GBU that penetrated the core of the ammo depot and hit an incendiary, an explosive, and it chain reacted, and conflagration essentially happened. And sympathetic explosions created this. Now, if we go to this one,
it was in Syria, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It was in,
a lot of people are asking.
It was in Tartus. It was, it's very close to Tartus. Let me put it that way.
Lots of different angles.
Oh, this one's 10 times. Wait.
This is the same bomb, correct?
It's not a bomb.
Whatever. Explosion. Same explosion.
This was a fire that happened in a fireworks plant.
Oh, okay.
Nitrate, everything else. Here it is.
You can hear them going off.
This one. Yep.
Oh my God.
Now,
holy cow. What did it just, what just
folks,
went up?
That was about 1,000 feet away.
Oh
okay?
my gosh.
If you've done any sniper work, it's not hard to, that's about 1,500 to 1,000 feet away. Here it is.
Whoa. Holy cow. What did it hit right there?
Watch,
what went up?
Watch. See that?
Yeah.
That's that simultaneous explosion I told you about. Watch. This is your first, and then this is your primary explosion, and then your sympathetic will happen. Flash, secondary. Flash, and instantaneous chain reaction.
Oh my God.
That's the pressure. That's the pressure wave. See that pressure wave?
God, that's huge.
That's the pressure wave. If you are anywhere within that area, you are fucksored.
Did those people
These people have nosebleeds. These people have some massive hearing loss temporarily, are probably bleeding from the nose and the ears, and they are concussed to shit at 1,000 feet from that explosion.
Jeez.
They are not feeling well at all. They were thrown. You can see, look at this guy. He's about to get ready to get knocked off his bike.
My God,
Winds are probably 120 to 160 miles an hour. The heat from that is probably 130. They're going to be blistered. 150. It just depends. It's going to be hot, and it's going to be loud, and it's going to be a serious force. No fun. Okay? Here's a couple different views of it. So this one, the one that you saw in Tartus, Syria, is probably going to be bigger than this one. But it's a different type of explosion. This is a very aggressive and angry explosion.
So angry. Jeez.
So that's ammonium nitrate. Now I want you to see the ripping motion I talked about. Look at these buildings that are just getting ripped apart. Ready?
Yeah. Oh my God. Hopefully no one was in there.
Look at those buildings that are getting ripped apart. Watch these buildings.
Oh, jeez. Scary.
It's a very aggressive explosion. Fertilizer, ammonium nitrate, bad. Bad. Very bad. So a lot of people are saying it's a nuke. It's not a nuke. If you want to imagine what a nuke's like, a nuke will do that, but much faster, much hotter, much deadlier. And the destruction you saw around the ring of that will be a 15-mile epicenter. And then you've got secondary fallout, you've got blindness, radiation. Nukes aren't fun. So, yep, ammonium nitrate was used in Oklahoma City, and it's a very aggressive bomb. It rips and shreds. That's why it's so damaging to buildings. That's why they blow up solid rock with it and granite, is because its sound wave is so freaking, it just tears. Yep, fertilizer, essentially. So, needless to say, that's what happened. Israel went ahead and hit that. And Israel is not fucking around. Okay.
Yes, there was a question. It was in between the drones and this, but
It's okay. I'll wait for it.
why is no one covering the fact that Biden gave clemency to a man that had hundreds of thousands of photos and videos of children of a sexual assault matter?
Why are they covering that he had, he had clemency and pardons of almost 8,000? What? Why? Now, the only person who did more pardons and clemency than anyone, Liv, do you know who it would be? I want you to think about it. I want you to think about this. Now, hold on. Now, think about what's something that happened in U.S. history where Americans were charged for something in the 200,000s for doing something that was wrong. I'm going to help you through this. We're going to do it together.
Is it in my, okay, give me a hint. Is it my lifetime?
No, it is not.
Okay, so it's
Before your lifetime, and it's in and please don't put it in the notes. Let her have a second.
okay. Is it my parents' lifetime?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a modern day president who's still living
Okay.
had to forgive something that Americans did that 200,000 some odd people were charged for. What do you think that would be?
For some reason, I'm thinking the hippie movement or
Okay,
something
so what?
along the lines
Okay,
of that.
no, nobody give her the answer, please. You're absolutely, don't look at chat, Liv.
I'm not. I'm looking straight at the
Okay,
camera.
so
I'm looking
you're
at you.
absolutely right. What was the hippie movement opposing?
Vietnam War.
And what happened during the Vietnam War? How did they get soldiers?
Oh, draft dodgers.
Right. So which president would have done that?
Who was during?
It wouldn't have been during
Johnson?
No, because that was during the war. It would be after the war. Who would do it?
Carter.
Yeah, Carter. So Carter essentially gave 200,000 pardons out for draft dodgers. So he's the number one.
Got it.
Who's number two?
Obama, I'm thinking.
Joe fucking Biden.
Oh.
Obama was around 1,400. Democrats are always huge. But Biden is sitting here at like 8,000. Vietnam was not in my wife's lifetime. No, it was not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
do
Frederick's
I look that old?
in her lifetime. I'm like, no, dude.
Do I look that old?
No, you don't. So understand that I agree with you. He also is he commuted a sentence of a Chinese spy. Liberals are horrible with pardons, and listen, I will be talking about it, but I want to see what he does in totality. Like I want to see all of the ones. Like he's going to slip ones in the middle, and those are the ones I want to see. But there's a lot of investigation on this. But yes, Jimmy Carter, 200,000. Okay.
Got it.
Congressman, and listen, but I do want to talk. I'm with you. There was a judge that was commuted who they were passing horrible sentences on, way over the top sentences. One child wound up committing suicide for this. I'm with you guys. I know it was horrible, horrible. Representative Bowman decided to give his farewell address. I want you to look at the camera. Anybody who watches C-SPAN will know exactly what I'm talking about. Is this the usual camera that you see for C-SPAN? Take a watch. Here it is.
I cannot go further without giving honor to my late mother, Miss Pauline Bowman. My mother raised me and my three sisters alone. She was a civil servant in the post office for 33 years. She worked 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week, and all the overtime she could muster to make sure I was the first person in our family to go to college. My mother looked me in the eye and told me I can be whatever I wanted to be. It was that love and that confidence she instilled in me that guided me and propelled me to win a historic election. I would like to think that I made her proud before my sisters and I lost her to COVID. Mom, Pauline Bowman, I love you. I thank you. And please continue to guide and watch.
So anybody who watches C-SPAN will understand that whole.
It's usually straight on, isn't it?
There's one that's back, and this is extremely close up. This one's been zoomed in. Usually, they would pull back and probably add 6 feet to each side. There's a reason why they're not showing the galley. Do you see that lady to the left? Right?
Yes.
No, that's not his twin brother. That's Ayanna Pressley. And then you'll see Island Omar, Rashid Tlaib, and AOC there. Those are the only people who showed up to his forced retirement speech. Nobody came. And I can honestly tell you, guys and girls, that the socialist progressive movement inside Washington is dead.
Good.
They just don't know it yet. Democrats are going, once Trump gets in, the Democrats are slowly going to ensure that anyone in the socialist progressive movement is exfilled from the party, except for AOC. AOC was just assigned to ranking Democratic Senate Intelligence, or the Senate Oversight Committee chair. So they are propping up because she exchanged ponies for Biden to help get him to help get Kamala elected. She obviously traded ponies to get where she's at.
Yeah.
But the squad is going to be obliterated. They were destroyed in the 2024 election. Progressive socialists were destroyed. Bowman has been kicked, and it's a matter of time before the rest. They're troublemakers. Democrats don't like them. They don't like their agenda, and they are going to get them out. And that is a good thing because they are a fucking boil on the ass of an already pretty shitty place. Liv?
Yes.
See if I can find it.
Female empowerment.
This.
Female empowerment.
Do you know who that is?
No, sounds familiar, but no.
That's Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Supreme Court Justice. And,
oh my gosh.
Yep. Wait. She. Well, I better not say she, because she can't even define what a woman is. No, she. Whatever. Here is her. Here's what she does in her off time. Watch this.
Female empowerment. Sick. I like it too. I think what I like about it is that I am having a very strongly negative reaction to it. Like I hate it. Which makes me think it must be brilliant.
Got this feeling in my body.
Can't stop the feeling.
Got this feeling in my body.
I can't stop the feeling. I did it. I made it to Broadway.
I think being a Supreme Court justice would be enough. It's hard for me after seeing our daughter go through this to have anything really negative to say, except.
What movie is that? Or show? Not a movie.
It's called Romeo and Juliet, and it's a progressive take on Romeo and Juliet.
Got it.
Listen, I don't care. That doesn't bother me. See, I don't know. Part of me is like, should we hold Supreme Court justices to higher standards? Does this really matter? Should she be able to go ahead and celebrate however she wants and have a good time? I mean, are we that much stick in the muds?
See, I don't care what you do in your spare time. But if I'm not mistaken, those Supreme Court justices...
Empowerment.
Sorry. Hold on.
Empowerment.
Okay, go ahead.
The Supreme Court justices are not supposed to show political affiliation.
Oh, that's interesting you say that because wait. It's funny you say this because this is Anne Juliet, which is a queer and lesbian remake of Romeo and Juliet.
That's where I was going.
Just wanted to tell you. See, I wanted to see what you thought before I said them. Go ahead.
So during the the address that the president gives every year. I can't.
The State of the Union?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, okay.
When the judges are there, they do not applaud. They do not stand up.
Dude,
Shut up, Ketanji Jackson. I am trying to
Shut
talk.
up, Biz
Female
Natch.
empowerment. Come on.
Okay, this bitch won't shut up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
She's interrupting my flow.
She's killing me. I'm sorry.
They can't show any political affiliation. They can't clap. They can't stand up. They can't show any emotion during that. In my opinion, that when they can do whatever they want when they're off the clock. but they should not be doing something in the public eye that shows their political affiliation, in my opinion. Can you imagine if, I'm forgetting all the names tonight.
It's okay.
Freaking the female judge that Trump appointed, the last one.
Amy Coney Barrett.
Amy Coney Barrett. Can you imagine if she went to an anti-abortion rally? What the freaking media would do to her?
Well, she's a Stepford wife. She's not allowed to go out of the house. So
Exactly. So it's like, can you imagine? So I think being in they are scrutinized. They're in the public eye, and what the office that they hold, they are held to a higher standard, and they need to be held to that higher standard. And in the public eye like that, if she wanted to go and watch the show, and then they call her up on stage and she just great. And you go, Katani Jackson came to the show. That's awesome. We just wanted to, great, good for her. But the fact that she's in it, that really, I don't agree with it. And I don't agree with any of the Supreme Court justices doing it, whether or not they were appointed by Republican or Democrat.
The question I have is like, wouldn't the Montagues and Capulets like kill the rug munchers before they wouldn't they have murdered them in their house so they wouldn't have a chance to have ritualistic suicide?
Yeah, because that's way back when.
Because homosexuality was openly accepted during those times within the confines of secrecy. But lesbianism was frowned upon. That was for prostitutes. And I can't imagine that. And that's why a lot of people think that Jack the Ripper was of royal birth.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And he was high up in the court or something.
And Ripper went out and murdered prostitutes for their, for their indiscretions. But needless to say, it wasn't readily acceptable during those periods for lesbianism to be okay, except for prostitutes. And if two members of a very prominent family, the Montagues and Capulets, you would think that they would, send them to a convent or flog them or something, or burn them at the stake before, but either way, I digress. A couple points have been mentioned. Hey, why don't you find something your own? Thank you, Kimberly. I'm in agreement. Why do we always have to keep changing everything? I mean, what's the fucking point? So,
exactly.
We
need some original ideas, some original thoughts. Let's stop trying to remake everything with your own spin on it.
Yeah. Well, either way, Romeo and Juliet, whatever. How tall is she? Oh God, she's got to be like 5'4", 5'5". She's a midget. I'm
5'4". I guess I'm a midget.
You're not really?
Yes.
Then she's like 5'2", because you're tiny, and she's really tiny. By the way, if everybody wanted to know, because I care about you, John F. Kennedy had 575 pardons commuted or rescinded. Lyndon Baines Johnson had 1,187. Richard Nixon 926. Gerald Ford 409. Jimmy Carter 200,566. Ronald Reagan 406. George H.W. Bush 77. Bill Clinton 459. George W. Bush 200. Barack Obama 1,927. I was wrong. I said 12. I apologize. Donald Trump 237. Joe Biden 8,062 thus far. 36 days left. That's kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll be right back for the next topic.
The DUM store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUM10 to save 10%. Visit thedumshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
Donald Trump had some things to say in his first sit-down with the media in an hour and some odd minute press conference that he just knocked the bejesus out of. Oh, real quick, I got to address this. This literally is quick. And yes, it's about the drone stuff, okay?
I remember him.
You guys see this gentleman?
Yep.
And you guys sent me this video?
Mm-hmm.
And he's the CEO of, claims to be I'm not going to go into details because I don't want to talk about the company and have any negative. This guy is not the CEO of that company that you're talking about. This guy's full of caca. So he's already pawning himself off as somebody who he's not. And if he's doing that, then what else is he lying about? Okay? Joe Rogan came out and said that this guy was one of the most convincing, and Joe Rogan wasn't worried. Well, Joe Rogan doesn't know shit about military aircraft either. Okay? So if you have to be dishonest about who you are, it's going to immediately make me question everything you say. So I guess it's hard for me to, and these are valid arguments. There's nothing in what he says that isn't, but why are you not being honest with people? So he said he was the CEO of Saxon Aerospace, but that actually is Paul Shahatajan. That's not him.
There was a really good question right there that just popped up. It's from Deirdre. Can Joe Biden pardon all illegal immigrants?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Watch him do it. Watch him do it.
Because no, he cannot. No, he cannot. He cannot make them American citizens with a stroke of a pen. He does not have that power. And therefore, they are not followed underneath the same laws. They have the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness the moment that they step on U.S. soil, and have to be treated under accordance to U.S. law. But he cannot pardon them.
Can he only pardon citizens?
Yes, but hold on a second. If they have an interim or a temporary citizenship, that's different. If they're asylum seekers, they are not U.S. citizens the moment they come across our border. Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness inside our border. The moment that they step on U.S. soil, whether that be Guam or here or an embassy, they hold the rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. But they are not pursuant to people who are illegal, I don't believe. Can I research on my digital constitution real quick and try to find out? You can talk about donations since we're kind of struggling tonight real bad, and this is not the month to do that. Go ahead.
Facebook has taken our income. They were our main sort of income for the show. And now the show is funded by our viewers, and we love you, and we appreciate every dollar that we get. And it's not cheap to run the show. It's pretty expensive. That's why we have such a high goal every night. But we want to keep it free. We don't want it to be a mandatory payment to be a part of the Dummy family. So we appreciate all donations. Just go to thedumshow.com/donate.
Please. We definitely, it's going to be a really hard month. We've got quite a few because of Christmas nights off this month, and it's really slow for us too. We know you guys are trying to have a Christmas, so no pressure. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. But we do appreciate you. I didn't even think about this, but under the articles is jumping the border is a state crime, not a federal crime. It can be charged as a federal crime, but state has precedent. So once you jump into the state, it is a state crime for jumping the border, which then becomes a federal crime, but pursuant to the state first. Jurisdiction sits with the state. It would fall under immigration law, which would be state law, because immigration law can be decided by the states. The President of the United States, if it is a national security risk, can then for federal make the charges federal, but the state has priority, and the President of the United States cannot dismiss or exonerate or pardon a state crime. And also, they haven't been charged with a crime, and they are not U.S. citizens, so therefore they are not would not be under the federal law. That's it. So no, he can't. No, and he can't turn them into citizens either.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
I tried going to the website. Joanne, you put it in the wrong one. It's The DUM Show. It's right here in this giant lettering. THEDUM, no B, SHO.com/donate. Liv, can you put the link on for Joanne? She wants to donate.
Which one?
Are you listening, hon?
Yeah, I did.
TheDumbShow.com/donate, honey.
No, I'm talking about which channel. 'Cause
Everywhere.
I've got different
Everywhere.
channels.
Everywhere you can. Just do a run of it. Because people are trying to figure out how to get in there and they can't.
Okay.
Hold on. I just logged on. Sorry, I just can't you?
No, I know what it is.
I see what you're saying. What channel to go to?
Which channel
All
is she on?
All of them. Oh, she is on. Sorry, I didn't understand what you were talking about. I think it's Facebook.
I did. I posted on everything.
Okay, and you guys can also go at Venmo at The Dumb Show, and you can go right to PayPal. I think it's at The Dumb Show too. Let me know. I try hitting the blue link, but what blue link? What are we? What? Okay.
Maybe the link I put in chat. I don't know.
Okay, Joanne, watch this. Right here on your URL, thedumbshow.com/donate. Is you come here, and there's a red button that says donate here. Click that. It'll take you right to PayPal. And then you can choose $20, $50, $100, or other. Or put in any amount you want. You can do a monthly, a yearly. And then if you go to Venmo, you can do the same thing. Okay? And then you can go ahead and do it right here. You have to sign into Venmo. Let me know if that works for you, Joanne. Because like I said, we're willing to help out, whatever we can do to help you. So is there any other questions on this?
No.
I don't know what blue link she's talking about, though.
It's possible it could show up, the link could show up blue in chat. I don't know.
Oh, the link in chat?
Yeah, it's possible that maybe that's what she's talking about.
What did you type? Let me see. Olivia.
Yes.
You're doing it wrong.
Am I doing it wrong?
Yeah, it's just... Where did you get that URL?
I copied and pasted it from the page.
TheDumbShow.com/donate. Type that into message and send it.
Okay.
TheDumbShow.com/donate. That's all. You don't need to. It's not 1980 anymore. You don't need to put www. You don't need to put HTTPS secure. You're putting a secure shell server in there, and they can do that themselves. Their browser will automatically make it secure. Don't put that long ass.
Got it.
And that's to Glenn and everybody else. Sometimes you guys put these super long addresses. It's really simple. TheDumbShow.com. I make these for you guys, so it's really easy to understand for our people. It's okay. I'm not upset.
Yeah, all I do is normally I just
don't
copy and paste.
Just write TheDumbShow.com/donate and
Got
leave
it.
that on your notes and just do that.
Did it. Changed it.
Okay, you guys try that link. Where's it at? I don't see it.
I need to go in there.
Yeah, put TheDumbShow.com/donate in the chat and see if that works.
Okay, let's see what happens here.
And Olivia and I are married. So if you're wondering why we're so short with each other, because it's just the way, well, I'm being short. It's business. We're just trying.
Okay, try that, everyone.
All right.
See if that works. It is blue in chat. I understand.
I'm going to see if I can get in real quick. It's okay to take a quick break. People are very upset about my drone video. Oh, Deidre got her message.
Did she?
Yeah, it's pinned. I have it pinned. Like, if you're on Facebook, it's right there. It's at the bottom of all the chat. If you go to our chat, it's right here. It's pinned. Just click it right there. TheDumbShow.com. And look, it opens right to it. Is there any legal action for Biden? No. He can sell whatever he wants from the United States government. He can sell all of that stuff. And no, there's no repercussion. It's wasteful. It's stupid. It's vindictive, but there it is. All right. Liv, it looks like we got a couple, I think.
Let me look.
I could be wrong.
One. I see one.
One's better than none.
Yes.
We'll take anything right now. We need it. It's a short month for all this. All right, let's get to it. Next topic. Did you hear about the school shooting?
Yes. I've heard that the number that have died has gone up from when we were watching at dinner.
It has. This is terrible. Thank you so much, Annie. This is terrible, but have you noticed a trend? What schools are they hitting?
They're hitting private Catholic schools.
Yeah, Christian and Catholic schools, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which are the same thing.
Yep.
Let's listen to it, and then we can talk about it quickly.
Okay.
Paramedics are there as well. Again, this is a health clinic, so maybe some they could help here with the doctors and nurses who work at this clinic. But the parents I've tried to talk to, didn't have time for a reporter. Understandably, they are on their way to figure out if they can reunite with their child in this very frantic moment for them. But they are just trying to figure out what's next, where they're going. As I mentioned, they've been told to come here. Some of them probably aware that they're supposed to come to the SSM clinic, and they just walk down the road and they're running towards the school. You see across the street, looks to be like a group of parents right there on the corner. That's at the corner of Stoughton right there, Stoughton Road and Buckeye Road. As you see, the road is shut down as traffic is kind of coming through here onto Buckeye Road. These parents obviously don't know much what's going on. They just know to come here to this area because they heard about this school shooting. I'm sure their cell phones are getting checked every couple seconds to see if they can't talk to their loved one who might be in this school right now. But again, this is the reunification area. Lots of Madison police standing outside the lobby right there as parents are running in, trying to get.
I am so sick of covering these things. And
is right here behind me. So you got
of course, Democrats,
police vehicles there. There's a fire.
I didn't hear anything. It's interesting, Liv. I didn't hear anything about gun control. I didn't hear one comment. Thank you, Homer. Appreciate it, buddy. I haven't heard one comment about gun control for the CEO shooter. Nobody said. I didn't hear any liberals call for gun control when they killed Robinson. What was his name? Dave Robinson?
I don't remember, to be completely
I'm so sorry. I
honest.
feel horrible. I don't remember. But it doesn't matter. The point is that they didn't call for gun control. But they'll call for gun control with this. But it's interesting. The number of trans shooters who've done massive school shootings is up to 11 now this year. And they're targeting Christian schools. Now, I don't know if this is a trans student. I don't know if she's non-binary or whatever she is. I don't care. But they have to. This is where we're at. And you were a teacher. And there are plenty of veterans who do not have jobs. And why don't you go ahead and have veterans, give them a tax-free status? That saves a shit ton of money every year. And they're state and federally tax-free for as long as they work. Get them a background re-up, get them a psychological test, make sure they didn't have any psychological connected service issues, and start having veterans guard these schools. I would volunteer. Are you kidding me? I'd take my AR down there right now, and I would sit in front of that school. I'd strap it. I'd have it ready to go. I'd put a sling on it, get a vest, have 3 mags ready to roll, and I would literally help those kids out of the vans and help them out of the cars and escort them to the door. And if anything gets froggy, we'll punch the clock and go to work. And I don't understand why these schools don't activate parents. And I promise you, I would go do that 40 hours a week. I'd wake up every morning and I'd go to e-school. And I know, but we have officers. We have, like, you go to the high school, there's like 10 fucking cops there. They got a sniper.
Every entrance there is an armed police officer.
They got snipers at that school.
Aiden's high school.
Our high school is like, we're like
all high schools. All the schools in our
school district.
In our school district are really good. I guess E's school just got an award for safety this past summer. So our school district is very good on safety, and that's like their number one priority. They've already made several changes to the middle school since Hayden has been in there, and it's only been 3 years. I mean, we got an email from think it was Hayden's principal today, about the school shooting
Yep.
and reiterating what they've done to keep Loudoun County schools safe and what they are in the works with doing, what they have plans to do, reiterating that our school district is award-winning for safety. And also, I mean, I don't know if it affects anyone here, but also providing emotional support for students and or parents.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it really makes me feel comfortable. I honestly, I don't feel nervous with the kids going to school.
I don't feel comfortable. But
I know
that's
you
just,
don't,
but I'll
but
never
that's
feel
just
comfortable.
you.
They could have fucking DevGru there, and they could bring in Delta. They could bring in CIA Black Ops, and I still wouldn't feel comfortable.
I know.
But there's no reason why they shouldn't activate veterans. I'll go do it for free. Like I said, I got no problems. I mean, I went to that school and I recognized some of their operational security, and they called me. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I had the assistant principal and principal call me for operational security advice, and I gave it to them. And they said, we're going to be calling you, and we're going to put you on a conference call, and we're going to ask you some questions. And I pointed out their soft targets. I told them what they needed to do. I told them what they needed to do with their exits. Told them what they needed to do with camera systems. And they had doors that had 3.5 feet by 1 foot or 12 inches, 9 inches glass. And I said, you guys need to reinforce that with wired glass that can't be punched out, reinforced glass, because all someone has to do is point in there. That's the one exit. And
they did make changes too.
I know they did. They goddamn right they did. And they changed that door. They made it a solid door, so there's no glass. You can't see out of it anymore. And the ones that it's all reinforced wired glass, and it's non-breakaway. It's completely break resistant. And I'm like, because what's going to happen is someone's going to pop that window, and they're going to point an AR in there, and they're just going to shoot the gymnasium full of dancing kids. And she's sitting there just like, oh. Every time I talked, and she's like, oh my God. And I said, ma'am, she's like, I just don't understand. What have you seen in your life that you can come up with this stuff? And I said, ma'am, it's not what I've seen. It's what we try to prevent. And in the military, when we have a forward operating position, or the first thing is OPSEC, you have to secure your location, and you think of the worst, because if you don't, they will. And she's like, oh, I'm not saying anything. I'm just like, and I said, that's just the way military people think, is we think of the worst and we figure out how to stop it. But they made a shit ton of changes, and they even recommended some of the systems that I recommended to them they put into place.
Yep.
So I think every teacher should be armed. If every teacher needs to learn CPR, every teacher needs to know, if they have to know how to save a life, they need to know how to take a life. Because they're like, well, we don't want to. Trust me, it's the only thing you're going to want if a shooter comes in your school.
Yep.
You're not going to be calling for mom or dad. You're not going to be calling the cops. You're going to be calling for a gun. God, where's the gun? Give me a weapon. Everybody, even children, 6-year-olds will be looking for a weapon. You just don't understand, when your life is at danger, your fight or flight mechanism, when you have no choice for flight, you will fight, or you will want to fight and not be able to. It's horrible. I don't like thinking about this. And I just thank God that we're fortunate enough to be in a school that literally has a military presence in their school. They're not going to let anything happen to our kids.
Yeah. Debbie just made a comment on Rumble. When I was in high school, the school was not guarded in any way. Rifles were in every truck in the parking lot. It's not access to guns. It's mental health of the shooter. I agree. When I was in high school, doors were unlocked. The doors were not locked during school hours. There were guns in all the trucks. We lived in a hunting, Northwest Montana. Kids would go hunting right after school. There was rifles in the backs of the trucks. No one locked their doors. None of the doors were locked. Even the back doors in the school were unlocked. During like basketball games and stuff, the back doors were opened and propped open so the gym would stay cooler. I mean, there was nothing like this when I was a kid. I don't know how the school is now, but I'm pretty sure it's not like when I was there.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that, like, we went to the school last night. We have a donation, babe. Went to the school last night, and I couldn't carry. I'm a concealed carry holder. I'm qualified. It's an extension of me. If someone got into that school with a firearm, and there was no security at the school for that play, there was nobody. There wasn't one cop. And do you know how bad I wanted to bring my firearm in? But if I get caught with that firearm, it's a felony. So it's terrifying.
Thank you, Joanne. That's first-time donor.
Joanne, thank you so much for donating. I'm glad we got you in there. I'm glad it worked out. Thank you, man. Yeah, I just had somebody leave me something on Facebook. Enjoy the death of the United States. Okay, Kathy Gallegos.
Enjoy the death of the United. I think you should be saying Canada in that sentence. They just had somebody like their finance dude just read.
I'm going to cover that. Well, it's Gallegos, so she's obviously talking about illegal immigration.
Yeah.
We just got another one. So, listen, this dead kids, no. That's where I fucking draw the line, you know? And I can't stand it. I just, it's not the guns. It's not the guns. Because, and I know that a lot of people are like, how can you say that? Thank you so much,
Jeffrey.
Jeff.
Longtime listener, first time
I
donor.
know. Jeff
Thank
is
you.
a longtime listener. Jeffy, thanks, buddy. Listen, if it's not the guns, it's a knife. If this wasn't an AR, this was a 9mm. If it's not a 9mm, I mean, the Columbine shooting, they brought in propane tanks. And if those propane tanks would have gone, they tried to blow up the whole school. They tried to put them against gas lines to get a sympathetic explosion, to blow up the propane tanks, which would then hit the gas lines and blow up the entire school. Folks, evil people do evil things. And the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And that is the truth. And you can sit here and play all you want, but trust me, in the end, if somebody comes in to hurt your kids, the first thing you're going to say is, who has a gun?
Yep.
And if you're a parent, you're going to ask, I don't care how much of a Second Amendment hater you are, you're going to say, why didn't anyone shoot him? Why wasn't there anyone there with a gun? Well, so don't give me this shit. Even if they didn't have a gun, if that guy had an axe, you would want that person to have a gun, right? Anything you could. You know, we got to ask the question. These are 17-year-old kids. Was she on psychotropic drugs? Was she transitioning?
Wonder if she was on puberty blockers or whatever I mean, going through puberty is hard enough with the roller coaster of hormones going through your body. I mean, the emotions, the craziness. I mean, I'm going through menopause right now, and my God, the emotions are freaking insane.
It's fucking shit.
It's like having to deal with this. I'm having to figure out how to control this. I finally get normal under control, and now I'm having to deal with this again. I can't imagine what somebody is going through when their body is trying to go through puberty and push these. You done? Yeah, you done?
Very similar to what menopause is.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Sex is good. Anger is worse.
Yeah, I can't imagine what a teenager going through this, trying to take hormone blockers and a puberty blocker and shoving extra hormones into your body that your body doesn't want or need, and what it's doing to them mentally and emotionally. And it's hard enough watching Hayden go through puberty. Holy cow. It's hard enough.
Psycho check, psychos!
Yep, pretty much. I don't. It's sad.
It is sad. Donald Trump is coming up right after this.
.com, the social media platform built for free speech and true connection. No censorship, no
We got to start that over.
algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at webkin.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
Donald Trump had a 1 hour. Go over to Wimkin, folks. Wimkin.com. They are amazing. Folks, I know you see that we hit the goal, and I want to thank everybody for pitching in. Remember, overdriving that goal is really important. It's a tough month for us. It's December. We got a lot of Christmas, and we got our bills, and it is a slow month. It winds down. And the reason why, and it's great, we have a lot of people on. We got 150 on, 175 with all 200 on all channels. That's great. We love that. But if you have a chance to help out, just matter if it's $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, whatever. We appreciate it. What was the joke about bucks and the deer that we talked about with Mike outside the restaurant?
I don't remember.
It's like something like, I don't remember. I'll try to find out. Anyway, Donald Trump gets the question about Luigi, the alleged CEO slayer. And here's Donald Trump. And one of the only people to
Mario.
say, yeah, this is evil Luigi. The interesting thing is people are saying, oh, this is the only person who's talked about this. We talked about this, how he was a coward for shooting him in the back. And I haven't heard really anyone say that. Donald Trump said it, which leads me to believe that there is a spy in our campaign.
And what do you make of the reaction around the suspected shooter? Does that tell you anything about how people
I think it's a terrible thing. I think it's really terrible that some people seem to admire him, like him. And I was happy to see that it wasn't specific to this gentleman that was killed. It's just an overall sickness as opposed to a specific sickness. That was a terrible thing. It was cold-blooded, just a cold-blooded, horrible killing. And how people can like this guy is, that's a sickness, actually. That's really very bad, especially the way it was done. It was so bad, right in the back. And very bad, very thing like that. You can't believe that some people, and maybe it's fake news. I don't know. It's hard to believe that that can even be thought of, but it seems that there's.
And what do you make?
The joke is two deer walk out of a gay bar. One turns and says to the other, I can't believe I just blew $30 in there.
Somebody else told another one on Rumble.
What is it?
What's the cheapest meat? Deer nuts. They're under $1.
That's right. That's hilarious. Donald Trump had a couple of other things. He is in form, man. I will be honest with you. There is a difference here. And I think he described it, but thank you, Jen.
Thank you very much.
You're the best, Jen. It's interesting because what he says, Liv, is that my first presidency is everybody wanted to come after me and destroy me. And now this presidency, everybody wants to get on and help me. It's very interesting. I told you, I think this is going to be a transformational presidency in a good way. This is Donald Trump talking about Bedminster and the drones, and then I've got a couple of the clips just to get you guys up to date on what he's been saying. Here it is.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey and the ports? And it seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening.
Well, that's isn't that special?
Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went.
Is Hayden home?
I think so. I'm looking. Yeah, it's about that time. Yes.
Hayden. Hayden. Hi, lock the door, baby.
And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it.
Wow. It's...
Hey, Sweet Pea. How'd it go today?
How was school today? Ready
Tired?
for sleep?
Your hair looks cute.
Thank you.
Holy lipstick.
Yeah, violet pick.
I understand. It's bright. You look cute, though.
It's the truth, I'm telling you.
All right. Love you, babe. We'll be out in just a minute.
Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster. Want to know the truth? They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster.
He says he's not going to go to Bedminster. I think he's being comical, but maybe not. I mean, I wouldn't want to. Here is another one, just to give you a taste in regards to Hamas, and this is why I love this man, and I am foreverly devoted, just because he doesn't fuck around. Here it is. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you very much, Miss Debbie.
Yeah.
Putin since your election.
Well, I'm not going to comment on the Putin question, but I will comment on
Donald Trump, most assuredly during his briefings, has information on the drones. He is receiving his daily intelligence briefings, and he knows at least what top intelligence officials know. That's why he's chiming in, very carefully chiming in, but chiming in.
On Bibi, we had a very good talk. We discussed what...
Kerry says, those wanting to get on Trump's side saw how most Americans reacted to the last 4 years. They're just worried about their money. I agree with you. I have always stated, I'm voting for Donald Trump. I support Donald Trump. I have high expectations of Donald Trump. Somebody came out and said that I wanted to vote for Nikki Haley for president. That is a blatant lie. That is not true in any way, shape, or form. My thoughts were she was going to be a vice president candidate or run along with DeSantis, and both of them were very, very qualified to be a VP, and she would bring in the female vote better than DeSantis would bring in already destined Florida. Those are my points. That the thing is that she did support. He took her abortion policies, and he went to the middle. Instead of staying on the further part from center to the right, he went more moderate, and then he didn't need Nikki Haley. So I am a Trump supporter through and through, but I will also challenge and call him out.
Is going to happen, and I'll be very available on January 20th, and we'll see. As you know, I gave warning that if these hostages aren't back home by that date, all hell's going to break out, and very strong. But we...
Pretty clear. Return the U.S. hostages or else. I have a feeling that Hamas is probably going to reconsider their disposition right now and what they're doing.
Yeah, I would say so.
Breaking news. Justin, there's in the rumor mill now. When I say rumor, this is over several outlets, and it's being speculated upon that Justin Trudeau is considering resigning. I don't think this is the type of guy that resigns. He seems to be too pretentious. But there is a lot of tensions over their finance minister, who is Chrystia Freeland. And she was laughing about freezing bank accounts of truckers who protested Trudeau's tyrannical COVID policies. But remember, these are also where they ran Mounties and horses and stepped on protesters. Remember when we covered that? Here is this, right after this.
The DUM store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUM10 to save 10%. Visit thedumshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
I don't think Trump needs to be careful with threatening Hamas for the Hatch Act. The Hatch Act is more about people who are running for office, politically gained, working with foreign states without declaring. He has every right as president-elect to express his policies, and I don't think Biden's going to question that. He's not undermining the current president, which is a good thing. He shouldn't, because I'm sure he doesn't want to be treated the same way during the end of his term. The whole point is Donald Trump has every right to say what is on his mind and let America know what he is going to do. Ronald Reagan did this too. Here is this insufferable pig bitch. Sorry. Canadian bacon.
So you're confirming that accounts have been frozen, both personal and corporate, but you're not releasing the information. And the actual follow-up is, I'm just wondering whether the bank accounts will be targeted of individuals who donated to the Give, Send, Go and the GoFundMe campaigns. Are they considered designated people under the Emergencies Act, meaning that their credit cards could be cut and financial services are targeting them as well?
Okay, so the names of both individuals and entities, as well as crypto wallets, have been shared by the RCMP with financial institutions, and accounts have been frozen, and more accounts will be frozen. Crowdfunding platforms and payment service providers have started the registration process with FinTrack. In terms of the specifics on whose accounts are being frozen, you now have the regulations. The financial service providers have those regulations as well, and they, working with law enforcement, will be making the operational decisions.
A lot of overreach. A lot of our listeners can't even gain access to the show or updates anymore simply because Canada has put the kibosh on freedom of speech. Canada is, their healthcare system is one of their strongest, proudest accomplishments as a government, yet there are more and more pieces of information coming out from Canadians saying that it is atrocious and it isn't effective. And I don't live there, so I'm not going to make any comments, but I can talk about censorship. I can talk about where Canada is about 5 years ahead of us of where we would be if we had another Biden administration. The way that they treated those citizens was reprehensible. Justin Trudeau is just a man of gargantuan flatulence. He is a pussy. He is a convoluted mess who kisses everyone's ass in order to try to make up for his horrible policies, his reckless spending, and the treatment of his people. And it doesn't matter if it's Xi Jinping. It doesn't matter if it's Donald Trump. It doesn't matter if it's Merkel. He will kiss the ring of anybody who will give him anything to help him out of his mess. And I thought, I don't know if you heard this, but Donald Trump about the 51st state joke, making Canada 51st state live. In my opinion, I think they should very much consider the offer. I would, with open arms, welcome Canada into the bosom of the United States of America. I would love to make Canada a part of our country. I think it's about damn time. I'm completely open. Those French can go fuck off, but everyone else.
I was going to say, what do you think the French are going to do?
The French can go fuck themselves. Everyone else, I think I was fine. I'm just kidding. Even French people. But I would love to have Mel be an American. I would love for them to actually maybe win a Stanley Cup. And I would like to have discounts on maple syrup. So I'm completely open for them to become the 51st state of the United States of America. Let's get right on that.
It's going to be a big-ass state.
It'll be a big-ass state. Listen, I'm not from Canada. I'm just hearing more and more rumblings.
Take the provinces and make them all different states.
Yeah, we can have like West Canada. We can have like West Middle Canada. We can have Central Canada and East Canada and Far East Canada and further East Canada. And then I think we'd be set. Then we got to worry about Halifax and Nova Scotia. Really far east, eh? Canada. Think that works. Mel is not here because Mel is with her mother for the holidays, and she has shitty internet. F-35s are going to be on routine during holidays because the threat assessment is high right now. Threat assessment's higher right now. Would we want Quebec, or do they become a colony of France again? I think they have to kiss my English ass and may your mother smells like hamsters and elderberry. I don't know. Listen, Quebec can join. They just have to renounce their fealty to the Queen. All right. Last video, and then we're going to go ahead and call it a night. People have been tremendous. The NBA can't figure out why their viewership has dropped, Liv, by 48%.
The actual NBA. You're not talking WNBA. Actual NBA, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Okay.
Yeah. Does the WNBA have any teams?
Good point.
So, Bobby, just everything's going to be okay. And if we're not, it'll be over in a snap. Just kidding. We're fine. Everything's... Listen, the United States is doing what they need to do. They need to prepare. And if there is something, if there is a threat, if there's something bad that's going to happen, you can't control it. And there's nothing you can do. And telling you isn't going to make it any better. Do I believe that there's a dirty bomb in the United States? No. Okay? Because not only do I know our oceanic defense systems and the aerospace defense of our country, I also understand what our nest capabilities and nuclear deterrence capabilities are. And I think we just need to take a break, take a breath. Let's celebrate the birth of our Lord. And let's celebrate Jesus Christ. And let's celebrate our friends and our family and our loved ones and the people who are in need of our help who don't know it. Let's say a prayer for those people. Make sure we hang a stocking for the birthday of the fellow we're having this for. And let's eat some good food and watch some wonderful movies and just be closer together. And stop fucking worrying about drones. Okay? Let's stop worrying about drones. Okay? That's what I think we should do. Here is why viewership is down 48%. Liv, see if you can hear why, okay?
Okay.
So he's pathetic. He's small. He's a whiner. We all know that. But you wouldn't have him babysit your kids. You wouldn't hire him if you had a small business. You want that man in your business?
I would totally hire Donald Trump to watch my children. Hayden and Ethan would have a fucking ball. Ethan would be going up to him the whole time and be like, "You're huge, huge."
We need to show Ethan's video of when he was in first grade and he got to choose.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, they had to do a video because it was virtual school. They got to pick a historical figure, and he wanted to do Trump so bad. So he had to do it.
I got that video somewhere.
Yeah, it's cute.
Okay, there's no way. But we're going to vote for him for president because he's strong. I mean, Kamala Harris whipped his ass in the debate, just obviously, and he's running ever since. He doesn't want any part of her because, as she said before, she's eaten many of his type for lunch. As an attorney general, as a prosecutor.
Oh, I'm sure she has, good to the last drop.
And I sold the parsnip to a family with 4 small children.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Had it. Oh, God, that was so good. Now I'm going to stuff my fucking face with Pepperidge Farm.
He's a small fry compared to some of the people she's gone after. And he knows it. So all he can do is cut people down, and do what he does. We've all seen all that kind of stuff. The ones that you can be even more angry about, because he's sick. He's a damaged man. He grew up the biggest wannabe there ever was in New York, right? We all know that. He wanted to be in the inner circle, but they laughed at him his whole life. Just like Obama made fun of him at that dinner, and he was about to melt. That angered him so bad, it was scary. But he was never accepted. He was treated like a fool, like a clown. And now he's able to just give the finger to the world because of his position now. And that's what he's doing. He's getting back at everybody because he's so small, he's got to go after everybody, just like we all know the generals and Mike Pence and all that. We've all heard that before. But those people around him, you know, the Grahams, the Cruzes, the Hawleys, the Meadows, McCarthy, McConnell, all those guys, all older white men, which so happens to be, they know he's an ass. They said it. I'm not saying that I think they think that. They've told us that ever since, 2015, 16, all that kind of thing. I mean, they've called him a xenophobic, a religious bigot, a racist, unfit for office, on and on and on. Their words. But they're right there with him. Do they not know that they have children and grandchildren probably that are going to lose freedom if this guy is elected? I'm not talking about a policy. I'm talking about the idea of our country.
Head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. This is why your team's a bunch of fucking losers and can't win anything since the Admiral has left. Dude, shut the fuck up and play basketball.
Exactly. Get politics out of my sports and my entertainment. I mean, basketball sucked anyway because it's got a thug mentality. It really does. And the players, some of the players act like it. They act like thugs. And then the really good ones are just so egotistical and have such big heads that they're horrible. They've got, I mean, look at hockey. They all have to come in suits. They have a dress code. They have a code to follow around the league. Basketball doesn't do that. They can do what they want, wear the big ass chains. I mean, it's just horrible. And then when you go to the freaking games, I mean, it's awful. There are so many money hungry bitches that are looking for their sugar daddy at those games. It is insane. I don't think I've seen one ever at a hockey game. I think I've been to 3 basketball games, and we went in Houston, and they were horrible. I've been to several hockey games and several different arenas in several different states, and I've never seen one. It's just, basketball's ridiculous. I only watch it. I watched it when Carmelo was drafted to the Nuggets, and I watched it for a little bit then because we lived in Denver, and then I watch it now because of Ethan. But he doesn't even watch it that much anymore.
No, it's
He's
not.
more football and
It's
hockey.
a fact.
But I don't like the attitude they all have, and yeah.
Well, that was some weird shit.
I think you don't like them because they're black. That's what it sounds like.
I don't care what color their skin is. I care if they're thugs or not. There's some white dudes in there too that act like thuds to try and fit in. So I don't care. Just, what?
Ethan!
What? What'd we get?
Ethan!
Here he comes. I don't know if it's hockey or baseball. What happened?
5-star defensive tackle Jemiah Otis, who was supposed to go to Georgia and Alabama, just committed to Colorado. Right fucking here, dude.
Because he got that 5-star QB.
We got a 5-star QB and a 5-star DT. And the linebacker left because it sounds like we're going to pick up a 5-star linebacker. Everyone's coming to Colorado. Dude, I want that national championship.
Whenever you have a 5-star QB, you always get.
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking sports to Ethan.
Everybody's coming, buddy. All right.
We're almost off.
What?
I said we're almost off.
Yeah, we are. Last one, SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son announced a $100 billion investment into the United States. He's not even president yet. And he puts him on the spot and he says, I'm going to ask him right now, will you make it $200 billion? Believe it or not, he can actually afford to do it. And watch this Japanese guy's reaction. This is fucking dude, Donald Trump is the shit. And I believe truly that he is going to just crush.
To go, and we were discussing, and President Trump said, Masa, double down is not enough. Maybe, go for more, right?
That's all right. I'm going to ask him right now. Would you make it $200 billion instead of he can actually, believe it or not, he can actually afford to do that. Would you do that?
Well, my promise is 100, but, he's now asking to do more. I think, with your leadership, my partnership with you, with your support, I will try to make it happen.
That's good.
All right.
200. He'll make it happen. 200 billion investment.
He is a great negotiator.
That's great.
He's a brilliant guy and did an unbelievable job, and the people of Japan and all over the world are very proud of him. They have tremendous respect for him. So what he does, what he just did, and I would be surprised if it didn't go to 2. And when you say you'll try, I know you'll do it.
I will really try. Yeah. And I need your support, though.
You'll have my support.
All right.
You'll have our country's support.
I will tell you this, that Japan is hands down, in my opinion, single-handedly the most important ally that the United States must protect. And I don't think we need to protect Israel. I think we continue arms. I don't think we need to protect Ukraine. I think we're invested in there, unfortunately, $200 billion. We have a choice. We can either let them die out, or we can continue to whittle down Russia's forces, because Russia will become a player again militarily, and then we have to be concerned. But Japan and Taiwan, in my opinion, if we lose Taiwan, if we lose Japan, we lose the cell phone market. We lose the cell phone market. America is in some deep shit, because you have got a $3.7 trillion company in Apple that would leave the NASDAQ. And that's bigger than the top 3 frickin' companies in the NASDAQ. You cannot screw around with the semiconductor market. We're not ready yet. 10 years, Trump gets in, we have a good chance of being at least status quo with the rest of the world on semiconductors. But right now, we don't have a choice.
Who is this dude from Japan? What does he do?
He works for SoftBank, and it's a very large bank inside Japan.
Got it.
We have to have Japan happy and an ally, and we must protect them at all costs.
So what's he going to invest in? I know the United States.
$100 billion in overall investment profiles, stock market, businesses. He's an investment banker, and he's going to invest in the United States of America.
Okay, that's awesome.
So we need to protect Japan. I love the Japanese people. I've lived with the Japanese people for quite some time, over 2 years with Japanese people, and I love their culture. I love who they are. They can get a little fucking weird, but who can't? But there is a level of honor with them, and they are shrewd negotiators and shrewd businessmen, and they have to be protected. I just don't think people understand how important it is to maintain global superiority. Yeah, 100,000 jobs, Melanie said. He's right. I mean, Donald Trump, $100 billion. Is that what I think that's what he said.
I thought he said billion, but that's a lot of money.
To go, and we were discussing, and President Trump said, Masa, double down is not enough. Maybe, go for more, right?
That's all right. I'm going to ask him right now. Would you make it $200 billion?
That's billion. Yeah. It's billion. I mean, this guy's worth a lot of money. A lot of money. And Trump is going to revolutionize this country and get us back on track. Because, can I just say, no one needs to get upset at me. The bones are there. The skin and the muscle and the hair, which is inflation, the interest rates, commodities and food and energy. The stock market is strong, and the U.S. dollar is strong from a global standpoint. This will be much easier than 2016. We were in stagnation. We were just flat. We weren't growing. We hadn't grown in 8 years. Donald Trump will get us to grow again. And there might be some pain points, but we'll rob Peter to pay Paul. Grocery prices probably aren't going to come down really fast. Energy is going to have to take over. But once energy takes over, you will see that you're going to see an easier time for taxes to be reduced. It's going to be an easier time to go to these big insurance companies and say, listen, here's what we have. Here's what we're going to give you. We're not going to do a subsidized healthcare system 100%, but we're going to encourage you to do tri-state healthcare. Get on these larger HMO and PPO plans that corporations have and allow it to be subsidized by the states. Allow the states to put, 40,000 people on an insurance plan. That is a huge benefit for that insurance company, but also for Americans. There's things that we can do. But we used to cover for very, very inexpensive amounts of money, $50 to $150 in Oklahoma for catastrophic coverage. And we don't do that anymore. You can't get catastrophic coverage. But like say, God, knock on wood, Olivia, something horrible happens to her or me, and we don't have insurance, but we can get this catastrophic coverage and our insurance will kick in. Some people need options, and we have to go looking for insurance on January 1st. We don't know what we're going to do. We said we'll wait till after Christmas, and then we're going to go find insurance for us, and we're not sure. But the last time we did, it was like $1,200 a month. It's fucking expensive to do a family of 4.
Yes. So
people need to believe that Donald Trump is going to do great things, and he is. People want to work with him. I think people, can I say they feel bad? I think the world stage didn't hate him as much as people said, because I saw his travel, and to see those 46 leaders wait to shake his hand is pretty important. Liv, take us out of here.
Well, do want to say one thing. We have a viewer who is asking for prayers for her daughter. The daughter's name, I'm sorry, she told me. Tell me again. I apologize. I'm going back up to, she had COVID back in 2022. She took an ibuprofen for it, thinking it was a cold, and she went to the ICU for 12 days. So she's had complications from it for the last
ibuprofen?
I don't know if it was from the ibuprofen, but she took ibuprofen and then she landed in the hospital. It was in ICU for 12 days. Oh. And she has some type of nerve damage. She did not get vaccinated, so it has nothing to do with the vaccine.
And COVID's nasty. It has long-term effects.
So something's going on with her kidneys right now. They're doing tests, but they're just not sure. So she's asking for prayers. I asked her name. I am so sorry.
Just what? What did she spell the word ibuprofen? Advil. What? Give me the word that she used.
Ibuprofen. It's in Rumble.
Oh,
you're not going to be able to get it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Rachel. What was your daughter? Brittany. There it is. Brittany. Her name is Brittany. I know she wrote it and I couldn't find it.
That's okay.
The daughter's name is Brittany. So she's asking for prayers for Brittany to hopefully the doctors can figure out what's going on and hopefully get her on a path to recovery.
Yeah.
So,
well,
and she's young. She's only 30 something, early 30s. So
we most assuredly will say a prayer tonight, and our resident pastor / what would she be called? Clergywoman.
Sure.
Is Amy is not here, but we as a family, we pray privately, and we'll be happy to do that off camera. And I would ask that everybody in chat who has that faith, or even if you don't, it's Christmas time and miracles do happen. Let's make sure we put our hands together and say something nice for Rachel and Brittany. What a horrible time during Christmas. So let's make sure we do that. Livy, thank you so much for Yenny.
What?
Cat, she is cool. She is an amazing cat.
What?
She is one of my favorite cats we've ever had. She's so lovey.
she's got a personality. Sure.
Every morning I wake up, she sits right at the stairs. Got to give her love. Got to give her food. All right, folks, thanks for watching the Don't Inform Me Show. Thank you for all the donations. And we are going to be back on. So Tuesday night, it's going to be Leroy and I tomorrow. Wednesday, Damani, Amy, Olivia, myself in the house. Thursday, Leroy and I back on. Friday, It is going to be myself. Mike is going to make his second appearance in a long time.
On Friday?
That's what he says.
Okay.
So we've got the roster. It's right here. All available for you. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Olivia, Mike, and Matt. Stop on.
I like how you made mine in pink pretty letters.
Yes, that's what I do. Do me a favor, folks, if you haven't had a chance, go to thedumshow.com. We got some great stuff over there. Great coffee, great hats, shirts, all that type of stuff. If you get it now, there's a good chance you will get it if you do a t-shirt or sweater by Christmas. But if not, it's available. It's there for you. Mike, let me know if you got your coffee or if you got shipping confirmation. I'll check on it for you. He'll probably send it out Wednesday, knowing him, but it'll be there before Christmas. He's good at that. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Had a good show tonight. This show will be live tomorrow morning. I will put it on the podcast. And God bless. Thanks. See, Mike, you're such a needy little business.
What?
Shake my head. You didn't even ask me. I just did before you said that. So, if you're listen, I already have a wife, bro. I don't need another one. I've already got one. I don't need two. So, you know what? That big of it. I'm going to check it for you. No. Too late now. No.
What?
I'm going to check it for him because just a woman. Let's see. Shopify.
Fits right in.
What's that?
He fits right into the Dumb family.
Oh, yeah. He's worse than Leroy. So, whoops. Let's see. We've got.
He's asking about the color of his lettering. That's what he's asking about.
Oh, I didn't want to ask him.
What did you want, pink?
Joseph says, Mike, what did you want, pink?
I have dibs on pink. You can't take pink.
All right.
You take purple.
Mike, nothing yet. He's probably going to fill it Thursday or Wednesday to get it out before Christmas. I left him a note. He's awesome. Matt is, and he'll take care of you. If it's, I'll just keep a close eye on it. And then looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pending orders, and the rest are good. So they're all in progress. Let me just check them to make sure. One was ordered yesterday. That would be Stacy. I'm not going to give last names. Order's been confirmed. They're working on it. They should all arrive before Christmas. Let's cross our fingers. They may not. But that is. My favorite color is blue. I'm blue. Okay, Mike. Dude, you're lucky that you even get okay? If I give you shit brown, you say thank you, sir. May I have
baby
another?
Poop brown is what Mike gets.
Avocado. I'm going to change it now to baby poop brown. I'm going to do that. All right, folks, we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, one more thing. These are the people who are not going to be at Trump's inauguration. Go read the article. 13 are not attending, 20 are undecided, but including Jamie Raskin and Rashid Tlaib and all these other douche plows.
These guys are attending?
They're not.
Okay, because it says at the top, are attending.
No, it says are not attending, are undecided, or 44 are.
Oh, gotcha, I see.
The gray are attending.
Gotcha.
Either way, douche plows, every one of them. Thanks, folks, for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Good night.
Night, y'all.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.